Hi, and welcome to this demonstration. Recently I showed you how to emboss parchment and cut the decorative holes out of the parchment on the same mat without removing it from the machine. Not everybody does parchment, so today I thought I would do these two mandalas you can see there. This is the mandala I did on parchment. This is an 8-inch parchment, just one of the ones I was playing with. It has been embossed and cut out on the scan and cut. So I thought today we will do it on cardstock, and we're going to do it with mirror card, because mirror card comes out really well when it's embossed. It is terrible to photograph, to video, but it's pretty when it's finished. You see the embossing mat, and we'll load the mat. You can see the two mandalas that are on the screen. There's a 6-inch one to the left, 4-inch one to the right. They're identical except for the size. And we're going to emboss these on the mirror card, which is Hunky Dory's 270 gram green mirror card, using Pollyanna's card embossing tool, which is different from the parchment embossing tool. You've noticed the difference if you saw them both together, but it is a slightly different tool, but it still fits in the standard pen holder that comes with your machine. I think all of you have got. I pop that into the correct place and lock it down. Now with our system we use the draw function, not the emboss function. This is going to be a draw function. It's much simpler. So we're going to press OK on the design there, and we're going to press draw, processing 10 minutes, OK, draw pressure of 6, speed of 3, that's OK. This is cardstock, press start. And it's going to take 10 minutes, that's all, to emboss the two mandalas. You can see how good the mirror card is from the reflection of the tool in it. You can also see the pattern starting to emerge now. And so we're using a pressure of 6 on this one and a speed of 3, which is quite adequate for 270 grams. 270 grams is a nice weight to use because you've got something to press into. If you're using a very thin card, it doesn't work so well. That good quality card, it does work well. This is going to take 10 minutes, so I'm not going to bore you with watching the scan and cut going across for 10 minutes. So this is now on the second one. This is on the 6-inch one. We're just finishing off here. So the card has stayed nice and flat. It's taped on 3 sides, top and left hand and right hand side. And you must always make sure that the top left hand corner is taped down. If you've got your top left hand corner untaped, because the mat is 2mm thick, your tool will catch it and you've ruined your project. Just make sure the tape covers the top left hand corner completely. It acts as a guide for the tool to slide over it, as there's not a great deal of room between the tool and the surface of the card. I'm just finishing off now, and that is the two mandalas done. The card hasn't buckled, as you can see. The edge of it is dead straight. It's just the light on mirror card. Beautiful card to work with, terrible card to video, or with my equipment anyway. So the next thing is, how do we cut it without damaging our embossing mat? And the answer is cartridge paper. Ordinary 180 gram cartridge paper that you would put in your printer to print your letters or your inserts for your cards. And we slide it very carefully underneath between the card and the mat. You may want to trim a little bit off the edge of it because the card is taped down to ease getting it under, but you get it all the way under. And then we're going to take the standard cutting tool, standard blade, and mine set at just over 4. A good way to test it, if you're not sure, there's 2 ways to test it. Is one, do a trial cut, obviously, or if you want to do it, you can check the depth of the blade against the thickness of your card. If you can almost feel the blade, but not quite, you almost feel it, then it's right. If you scratch your finger, it's too deep, and if you cut your finger off, you need to go to hospital. But if you can just feel it, then you've got it right. So all cards different, and all machines different, and the settings on the tool holders are different. They can't actually be 100% relied upon. This time we can use the cut function, and we press OK, and off it goes. It's going to cut out the centre of our mandala first. I'm going to run this all the way through. It's only 2 minutes. So we're cutting out the centre of the mandala. It's got the white cartridge paper between that and the embossing mat. So if you're a fraction longer, it will scratch the paper. May even just cut the paper, but it won't cut the mat. There we are, there's the 4-inch one cut out completely, and now it's moving to the 6-inch one, cutting the centre out first. As the 4-inch one is loose, you might like to stop it cutting for a moment by pressing the start and stop button, and remove the 4-inch one so it doesn't get jammed onto the machine. So obviously the machine's going to go past that. Press start again and the cutting blade will go back to exactly where it was. One thing I like about these machines is the accuracy. So that is cutting through now. Just doing the outline. This is one of our own designs. There we are, that is completely cut out. There's your cartridge paper, and you'll notice that no cartridge paper has been harmed during this demonstration. And there's the mandala that I cut out of parchment and embossed, or embossed then cut out. And that was parchment, and here is the mirror card. You can see the design on it. As I say, it's not a good one to video, it's a good one to work with, not a good one to video. If you just heard a strange sound, my battery's running out. There we go. 4-inch, 6-inch, identical except for size. That's the beauty of the scan cut, is that you can, scale things down and they are identical. Oh no, there's one of our little flower petals that hasn't popped out, so let's just push that out. It has cut. There we go, pull him out. Fine. You can see the hearts and scrolls design on there, as you can see on there. So thank you for watching. I hope it's been interesting. It's a new way of doing things. It's a way of cutting as well as embossing to enhance your work with cardstock. It's all done on a 12-inch Pollyanna embossing mat, and as I say, the embossing uses the draw function, which makes life a lot easier, and the cutting uses obviously the normal cut function. It's a cartridge paper between your cardstock and your mat, blade set at the right depth, and you've got no problems. And there it is, finished. So lovely card to work with, lovely card to make. greeting cards out of, but not a card to video. It's very, very effective. Hope you've enjoyed it. Thanks for watching. This is Phil at Pollyanna's Parchment Craft. As I say, the matter is not hard.